I did it all for the money. When the player had to eat, that one the damn thing funny. Hey, I did it all for the money. Hey, I did it all before. Rob people so dope. Gang banging, shooting pistols, running from the dance folks. And I was known for eating anything your ass folks. Soft, hard, green, brown, niggas even had throat.
Welcome to the Playing with the Church Money podcast. I'm your host, Brother Will. Today we're going to talk about the governor election. Now, as I've stated in my previous video, we as a community must start to put our leadership out there. And we cannot wait for any of these people from any of these parties to take a priority on any of the issues in our community. And so this is where we must put our representation out there for these political offices. And the next one that's coming up is the one for mayor. I've already made a video about penciling in our mayoral candidate. These guys are trash. No interest for anybody from our community. They'd rather build a stadium, but as soon as you drive past Louisiana, as soon as you enter the 87108 and get past Nob Hill, it's terrible. It's terrible. So we need to understand that we must put our own candidates up for these positions, these elected positions. So this is another call out to the brothers in the community. You know, I know we got to have some leaders out there that's part of these organizations that need to step up. We can't have these organizations. We can't have our church and our religious leaders endorsing these candidates no longer. I don't think we have a clear consensus in our community politically where we want to go, and that's where we need to start. Unfortunately, we've been fascinated with these marches and protests. Now we need that same energy to translate over into creating policies for change. And we need to focus on meaningful policies. There's certain organizations that are going to focus on their issues, their priorities. We have issues and we have priorities in our community we have to deal with. So in order for us to move forward with leadership, we have to put our leaders out there so people can understand and stop thinking that we're just along for the ride and we're a hindrance to the rest. So we want to put our candidates, we want to put our leadership out there. That's what we need to be doing. That's who we need to be focusing on. So who is going to be our candidate for governor? Who would be our governor candidate? I already said we need to put out a candidate for mayor, president. Who are our candidates for governor and any other elected position, lieutenant governor, whatever other elected positions they're going to be coming up during the governor race. So we need the leaders in the community to step up. We need the leaders in the community to step up. We need to be having these discussions. We need to be having these discussions about leadership. I don't think we're really focused and seriously focused on resolving these issues if we can't put up viable candidates to go up against these people. And when I say these people, I mean the Republican and established Republican and Democrat candidates. So people are going to say, "Hey, Will, what are you doing? What's going on? What?" Look, it's the same thing over and over and over. So if you don't understand, these people love to play politics. So while the rest of these people go back and forth and name call and pom pom and cheerlead for their political side, we need to get work done. We need to get work done for our communities. Dead last in the dead last state. Our political leaders need to step up. We need to have more unity in the community. We don't have any kind of generational, I mean, I ain't even gonna get into generational wealth. We don't have any kind of generational political movement. We don't have any kind of generational leadership movement because we've been divided and splintered up by these political parties and these ideologies. At some point, the men in the community, we must come together and step up to resolve these problems. It's too many of us looking aside and thinking these problems are going to get resolved by the powers that be, and that's not what's going to happen. That's not what's happened up until this point. So we can't expect for it to magically, miraculously happen now. The current leadership doesn't, they have their own agenda and their own priorities that they are attending to. We must deal with the issues in our community, and we cannot allow these people to sidetrack us with their political buffoonery. If this is what we're going to do, then we need to just disband every single organization in our community and just follow behind them. Because the leadership is failing. A lot of us, it's just a lack of unity. And now is the time to come together. We can come together with some kind of consensus to put a candidate and then continue that momentum. And these are the discussions that we need to have. No one wants to step up and be leaders. So it's time to start looking at school board positions. It's time to start looking at city councilor positions. It's time to start looking at Senate, Congress. These are the positions we need to look at. Judge seats. You know, they're all we can do is lose. But if we don't try, we're not going to get the results that we think we should be getting. So you have supposedly, I guess, Mark Ponchetti, you know, again, another Trump lapdog like Eddie Aragon. Supposedly they're trying to get the mayor of Rio Rancho because they're, you know, low in crime and yada, whatever. Then I'm not exactly sure the other candidates besides the current governor, which is, I don't know if there's any other Democrat candidates, but if you guys don't understand what the selection, these guys are terrible. Once again, we are dealing with candidates who have no interest in dealing with our community. So what do we have to do to get the results that we want? Regardless if we don't win, at least we're making enough noise to push the political needle one way or another. What's going to happen? They're going to want to start jockeying for your votes. But we're not organized enough. So we must come together. We need to start organizing more. And that goes for Republicans and Democrats. If you guys want to be serious about the community, and this goes for the politicians, the candidates, the so-called political leaders, the so-called leaders of some of these organizations out here in the community, it's time for us to step up. It's time for us to step up and start doing what we need to do. You politicians on both sides, You guys ain't coming to the community for the benefit of the community. You're picking and choosing who you want to deal with. So if you're a conservative, you're only going to deal with so many people out of the black community. If you're a Democrat, you're only going to deal with so many people because you're not going to deal with the conservative blacks. You'll try to approach them, but once you find out that there's not going to be, and it goes both ways. They're not going to deal with the Democrat candidate either because you've been brainwashed. You cannot think for yourself. You are not an independent thinker when it comes down to politics. All you do is speak talking points from the political puppets. That's all you do. So if you're going to come to the community, it's time to put in work. It's time to do what we need to do. Let's get this done. Let's come. Let's talk about it. And we'll see if you deserve the black vote. Let's bring you and your political plans and your all that you plan to do while you're in office. Discuss it with the community, unless because your political party you're too big to come and speak with the community because they may be Democrats. So that's what I'm saying. These people, and that's exactly, you can be black, white, whatever it is. These people have no self-interest in the community. They're just here for votes and to be political cheerleaders. These people will cheer and try to make up any kind of logic that suits the argument of the other side, even if it's trash. They will literally try to make an argument to justify it. This is the level of politics that we're dealing with. No one wants to be honest from either side. This is what's going on. So if you, the people from the community, you want to continue to deal with this is what you want to play. You want to play these games. You want to indoctrinate your kids into these political games. Go ahead, vote for the Republican, the Democrat, established party candidates. We need people to be independent thinkers and be rational thinkers so we can move forward in the community. But you people don't want to do it. You people do not want to come together. You would rather be political puppets and be divisive, political gangbanging. That's what y'all would rather do. Be political gangbangers. So we need the leaders from our community step up because these people have no self-interest in our community. We have certain issues. They don't have those issues to deal with. Like I said, they're cheerleading and pom-powing and ha-haing and, they're fooling themselves. They're trying to make up whatever kind of excuse they need to justify all the silly semantics they want to play with each other. But at the end of the day, none of the issues in our community, none of the issues in the black community are going to get solved if we continue to follow behind these people. So who is going to be our write-in governor candidate? Or who are we going to put out there to be our candidate for governor? I ran down the list of names on the other video. We just need leaders from the community to step up so we can have some kind of consensus. Let's get some suggestions down in the comments so we could understand and see where we need to go. These are the type of discussions we need to have, but we're not having them. So what other discussions are the leadership in the community talking about? What discussions are we talking about as far as progress? You have certain individuals in the community that are doing it because they realize I can't depend on certain people. I can't depend on these political groups. I can't depend on these political cheerleaders because this is what they want to do. So those brothers, they've gone together and got groups amongst themselves and have done business. And so this is the lesson that I'm trying to teach to the greater of the masses of the people in our community. We must get away from this BS so we can come together and come with a plan to resolve these issues. So we need to figure out who's going to be our candidate for governor to go up against Michelle Lujan Grisham, Mark Ponchetti, the mayor of Rio Rancho, if he decide to run, or anybody else. These guys are scrambling. They don't have no good candidates. There's no viable candidates. And I ain't talking about the Republicans. I'm talking about the Democrats. The Republicans been trashed. They don't got nobody. They want to put Mark Ronchetti up there, the weatherman. Are you serious? And this is what I mean about the leaders in our community. This is what I am talking about, the leaders of our community. You mean to tell me there's no brothers in the community that's smarter than the Channel 13 weatherman? So we have to step up, brothers. There's way too many leaders in the community. It's a whole lot of brothers in the community that I would definitely put up against him. But brothers don't want to step up. So who needs to be that? You know, if none of the men 40 years old and up are gonna try to step into these roles, 35 years old and up, then we need to start grooming our kids to be leaders. Because if brothers don't want to be the leaders that we need in the community, then we need to start grooming our kids, because that's what they do. That's what they do. They got think tanks and scholarships and social and civic groups, fraternal groups that donate money and get these kids to school through school, and they groom them. What do you think the Madison Cawthorn or Hawthorne, whatever the crazy kid? These are the type of politicians they're putting up. And you guys really, you got brothers in the community that want us to go and be genuinely siding with these people. And there's some of y'all that are. Some of y'all are out here cheerleading and pom-pom for these people. And they're trash. They're no substantive type of candidates. Same parrot talking points as the rest of them. So who are we looking at? What are we looking at? You know, or do we need to wait 10 years so we can groom a whole generation of new leaders in our community? Because that's what it's looking like. So we need to start getting a list of positions brothers are going to run for, you know, for next year. I don't care if it's the school board in your county. I don't care if it's a county seat or, you know, whatever it is. I don't care if it's a sheriff seat. You know, we must a judge. There's a whole lot of judge seats in a lot of these counties. Y'all don't understand. There's plenty of elected seats to go around and plenty of incompetent people that can be beat. We just have to get past this era of people playing politics. Vote for the party. All this garbage nonsense when you vote for the party and look what got the last president was trash. The president before that wasn't good. The president before that wasn't good. The president before that wasn't good. You know why? Because they suppress people's votes, and so people do not get involved in the system. So now it's time for us to put our own candidates out. It's time to organize against all of these voter suppression laws instead of whining and crying. Let's get people registered. I'll teach y'all one lesson, because I used to get disenfranchised all the time. I would get disenfranchised letters left and right. So what I did, I stopped registering as a Democrat. I stopped registering as a Democrat. First, I went independent. Everything went all right. Then I said, you know what? I'm going to just register as a Republican, because the people who always want to suppress the black vote are the Republicans, but they're not going to suppress their own. They're not going to suppress no. So be smart, people. Just be smart. Very simple stuff. You don't need all these politicians going up there. We need to fight. Register as a Republican. I guarantee you're going to get that. You're going to be able to vote. I guarantee you, because they are not going to suppress and filter out a bunch of black Republican voters. You know why? Because then it'll really even show more of a racism, and they don't want to lose those voters. They probably don't even care about those voters. So I don't even know why y'all over there on that side. But this is what I'm saying, and it goes for the Democrats too. And that's the whole point of this video. We must pick our own candidate to go out against these people. They want you to be led by the weatherman. Community. They want the weatherman to lead you. Do you understand what I'm... And they are serious about this. So, I mean... I don't even think the guy's from here. I don't even think he's from New Mexico. I mean, if you're going to pick, you know, a dog catcher, make sure he's from New Mexico. Make sure it's somebody from the community that at least grew up here and knows issues about the community. But it is what it is. This is what I'm saying. We must step up. You know, there's nothing wrong with a weatherman. There's nothing wrong with a dog catcher. There's nothing wrong with none of these people running for elected office. My thing is, from our community, our standpoint, I don't think Ponchetti is going to have our best interests at heart. Like I said, he is a Trump lapdog. You heard all of his campaign when he was campaigning to run for Senate or whatever. Imagine that. This guy, no political experience, jumps up there, I support Trump and everything. This guy was literally a lapdog for Trump. And they want a lapdog QAnon weatherman. I don't even know what this guy is. What did he bring to the table besides other talking points? So we must put our own candidates. We need to start coming together so we can understand who from our community we're going to put out there. And then we need to start just picking and choosing. Go size some people up. Go sit at your school. Go sit at your school board meetings. Go sit up at your city councilor meetings. Go up to Santa Fe so you can see the garbage politicians they have. We have plenty of charismatic people in the community. Plenty intelligent brothers in the community. Plenty of knowledgeable brothers in the community. So why should we subject ourselves to these type of leaders that either side are putting up? Eddie Aragon, 4% black weenie. This dude wants the black vote because he said he got 4% black on his 23andMe. Mark Ponchetti, Trump lapdog. Eddie Aragon, Trump lapdog. The sheriff, he's a Democrat. He's already submitting false paperwork, making crazy claims, which they probably did get some information from their little police buddies that, hey, you know, Keller got some calls from some domestic violence, and they probably slid that over to him. So that's the only reason he ran his mouth, because that's the type of slimy stuff the law departments around here do. And that's what I'm talking about. There's these guys, it's such a mess, and you want the guy who's doing the dirty stuff as sheriff to be the mayor. I don't care if he's a Democrat, he's trash. What has Keller done? Keller, you know, threw a little money, try to appease some little social projects and some social justice people, and then what else? Trying to build a stadium. When you go to the international district, drive through the international district and see how that looks, and understand where the investment in the community needs to be at. But these are the people they want you to vote for. We must put our own candidates. Michelle Lujan Grisham. I'm gonna give Keller one thing, that the economy in Albuquerque has done better than prior to pre-pandemic times, before he was in office. So I will give him that. He's done a better job with the economy, growing the economy, I guess, than Barry and so on. So the numbers are looking good on that. Besides that, trash. In the same Michelle Lujan Grisham, there's really not much besides the same old, same old. Oh well, they put somebody up in space this year. Great. After they've been trying for like 20 years, taking tax cuts left and right, that that tax dollars could have went to the education system. So that falls on the back of all the governors and all the mayors and all everybody who supported that, all the politicians that voted for that. That falls on y'all. 20-year investment. This just like Afghanistan, when they put all the trillions in Afghanistan, and then you end up with Chicago being the murder capital of the world. That's when they should have pulled the troops out. Well, when New Mexico's last in education and all this, it's not time to build a stadium. It's time to pull the troops out and let's get busy and let's fix the problems that we have here. But these people, they want to play games. These people want to play games. So we need to put up our own candidate. Let's get some comments. Let's leave some comments so we can see. Please like, please share, please follow, subscribe on my YouTube page, Playing with the Church Money Podcast. And y'all stay blessed.
I did it all for the money. I did it all for the money. When a player had to eat, that one a damn thing funny. I did it all for the money. I did it all before. Ride people so dope. Gang banging, shooting pistols, running from the task force. And I was known for getting anything you asked for.